What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, 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 what's going on? Portal Masters, welcome to another episode of Skylanders History. Today we're going to be focusing on Trigger Happy. I am Robert Welkner. This is CoinOpTV live and interactive. We got a live chat room. We got peeps tuning in. I'm going to give some shout outs and answer questions, talk to you a little bit about everybody's favorite tech element, Trigger Happy, one of the OGs. I've got some graphics I'm going to show. I'm going to talk a little bit about, some of his originally figures, kind of moving on up to his last release. Let me give some shout outs to the chat. We got Lewis, Cole, TMP, Robert the Blastermind, Avion, and a few other peeps. Let me get my graphic up here to show you old Trigger Happy. There we go. Trigger Happy is a tech element. His first appearance was in the first game, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. How many guys in chat have actually played the first game, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure? That's where it all started for me. Here's his bio, according to the Skylanders website. Nobody knows where he came from. He just showed up one day in a small village, saving it from a group of terrorizing bandits by blasting gold coins everywhere with his custom-crafted shooters. Similar tales were soon heard from other villagers, and his legend quickly grew. Now everyone in all of Skylands knows of the crazy gold slinger that will take down any bad guy, usually without bothering to aim. So there is a little bit of Trigger Happy's bio. I see Rob the Blastermind says he has played it. Party Waves is in chat. What's going on? Chloe Turn is in chat as well. Party Wave says, I have played some of the first one. Awesome. Gabriel says, why Trigger Happy as a gun? Trigger Happy has two guns. His slogan is no gold, no glory. He likes to collect that gold. He likes to get that glory. Okay, so let's talk about some of the different Trigger Happies through the years. Here is a look at the first original Trigger Happy. He came with Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. I see Marcus is in chat. What's going on? Toys for Games is in chat as well. Shout outs to you guys. So let's look at the toy. So here's the original Trigger Happy. Had guns ablazing, big giant tongue sticking out, and he was very small. That's one thing I remember about Trigger Happy. He was very small. But very fast, had good range attack. He had kind of this pot of gold thing that he sort of could shoot out. I didn't use that much. And then, of course, he had like the big giant cannon. We'll show you in some images here shortly. Here's some screenshots for the original Trigger Happy. Now, in the first Skylanders Spyro's Adventure game, we also got Legendary Trigger Happy. I'll get to that in just a second. Here's a look at his machine gun that you had to sort of set up, and it was pretty fast and powerful, but it took a few extra seconds to sort of set things up. Okay, so here's a look at a Legendary Trigger Happy. Now, this was one of the early Legendary figures that Legendary figures were Toys R Us exclusives in the States. They had sort of the gold coloring to them. He had kind of a gold and black coloring to him. And here's what the figure looks like. It was a variant in game as well as out of game, and of course these came out with the first game, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. You can see a little comparison there. TMP says, I remember this one. Chloe Turnus asks if Trigger Happy will be in Imaginators. All Skylanders, original Skylanders, all the Skylanders throughout the years are playable in the new game, Skylanders Imaginators. Okay, so moving forward, Skylanders Giants introduced us to Trigger Happy Series 2. Again, we have the machine guns ablazing, tongue out, crazy sort of vibe to him. We got a different character pose right here. This time he had two hands on his machine gun, and I like the attention to detail there on the gold bullets sort of coming out of the side. Robert the Blastmind says, no, retiring characters, so there won't be new characters poses of original characters. There will actually be in the game as like NPCs, non-playable characters that you talk to, but if you have the figures, you can actually play them in the game. They all carry over. Here's the screenshot for Trigger Happy Series 2. Okay, so then come Skylanders Swap Force, we got a new name for Trigger Happy. Now they called him Big Bang Trigger Happy, and there was also a variant called Springtime Big Bang Trigger Happy that was for Easter variants, very colorful. So let's start off with the image here. So this time around, Trigger Happy came on this big giant missile bomb. It's a little strange that he didn't have like a gun in his hand or something. I mean, I guess a gun kind of is overshadowed by a big giant bomb. Carlos says Skylanders Giants was my first game I ever played. Awesome. Skylanders Swap Force is my favorite Skylanders game. So all the Swap Force characters, you know, those releases get like a special place in my heart. Robert the Blastmine says, I feel the more intelligent and sophisticated on my fandom. Are you saying this is more intelligent in our conversation? Chris says, great character in chat. Skylander Dragon says, hi, everybody. Shout outs to you. We're going through the Skylanders history with Trigger Happy, his little screenshot of Trigger Happy, Big Bang Trigger Happy from Skylanders Swap Force. Okay, so here is the variation on that, the Springtime Trigger Happy. This was an Easter variant. As far as I know, pretty easy to find, you know, not difficult to find in stores. Really colorful. This time around, the bomb looks like a big giant Easter egg. It was kind of a cool variant, but weird seeing purple as the color of choice for Trigger Happy. TMP is saying rocket. Is that what I should be calling it? Not a bomb. It's called a rocket. Toy Movie Game Bros is in chat. What's going on? What's going on? Skylanders Dragon says, no gold, no glory. Yes, that is Trigger Happy's catchphrase. Let's see a screenshot here. Here we go, about to attack some chompies with the tongue out, indeed. I'm reading your comments while I'm kind of going through some of the images. I'm seeing lots of people jumping in chat. This is great. I'm enjoying doing these little Skylander history videos. Somebody left some comments, or a couple people left comments asking about like which one's my favorites. Last week we did Stealth Elf, and I totally neglected and forgot to show the Skylanders Eons Elite for Stealth Elf. So I'll definitely show Trigger Happy's Eons Elite. But it's always hard for me to pick my favorites on these. You know, I guess like for me, I'm very akin to like the Swap Force releases, because that was my favorite game. So let me move on, get back to some graphics here. Okay, so there is the Springtime Trigger Happy. Toy Movie Game Bros says he likes to ride rockets. Yes, there he is. All right, I'll call it a rocket. I guess a rocket bomb. I mean, the reason why I was saying it was a bomb because it's like the angle was like going down, like it was a bomb from like a plane or something. But if you guys want to call it a rocket, that's cool. Toys for Games says this is a great series. Awesome, thank you. Party Waves says, can I have a shout out? Yes, I gave you a shout out already, Party Waves. Okay, let's move on. Now we got with the release of Skylanders Trap Team, we got a variant called Trigger Snappy, which was a mini aka sidekick. You know, some of these sidekicks were originally like non-playable, but then they sort of re-released them as minis and they made them playable. The Trigger Snappy was basically a shrunken down mini version of the original Trigger Happy. Had same move sets. Here's what the figure looked like: big giant ears and tongue and eyes. Not quite as much detail on the sidekicks minis. And they're smaller too. And the way they were packaged, they were like 2 in a package. Here's a little screenshot here. So look at this. It's funny seeing like Chompies about the same size as Trigger Snappy. So they're smaller. They moved a little faster. Their voices were kind of sped up a little bit. Tom Craven is in chat. Hey, what's up? Shout outs to you. He says he's so adorable. Toy Movie Game Bros says he's adorable. Yes, Trigger Snappy was cool. I like that they made the sidekicks into minis and they actually gave them powers. You know, there was some question as to you know, what was going to happen with the minis. The sidekicks turned to minis. So then we found out. So that was for Skylanders Trap Team. We got the minis. And then the most recent game, and a lot of you guys who maybe are new to the Skylanders series, Skylanders Superchargers. Skylanders Superchargers introduced us to Double Dare Trigger Happy and also Power Blue Double Dare Trigger Happy. These are tongue twisters. The names seem to get longer and longer. This time around, we got like gold flames around his gun. Tongue seems like it's longer than ever. Laney Ken says, does anybody hear me? Yes, we hear you. United Skylanders America says, hey, Rob, what's going on? Split Degree says, Trigger Happy's always on meth. Yes, it could be. All right, so let's look at the toy here. You can see he's sort of winking in the toy, got like his finger up. I think this is kind of an ode to like Evel Knievel or something like that, like a Daredevil sort of figure. You know, Evel Knievel, if you guys don't know, he was kind of this big giant daredevil, did stunts in like the late 70s, 80s, I believe. Robert the Blastamite says, not to brag, but I defeated Traptimian Chaos as Trigger Snappy. Ho, ho, ho. Skylanders Dragon is asking in chat what everybody's favorite Skylander is. Of course, you guys know my favorite Skylander is Spyro. So here's some screenshots of Double Dare Trigger Happy in action. Just always looks like he's in a good mode. Obviously, his name is Trigger Happy, so he's always happy. He's always got his gun, you know, ready to go. And then this is the Power Blue Double Dare Trigger Happy. This was for the autism charity. I forgot what the charity was called. Maybe you guys let me know in the chat. But this was sort of a variation of him where he was all blue. And I thought it was one of the cooler looking variants. I know that my man P. Diddy Sports Cars was excited because it was like the blue colors from his sports team. So that was kind of cool. And the figure was the same, just had kind of the blue and white skew to him. Zayed says, Trigger Happy is awesome. Cool. Autism Speaks. Yes. From United Skylanders America. Thank you. And here's what he looks like in the game as well. I love the figures who are variants that are also in-game variants. A lot of figures that come out aren't in-game variants, and that's a little bit of a bummer. Okay, so then Trigger Happy got a vehicle for Skylanders Superchargers. It was called Gold Rusher. And, of course, there's the variant of his vehicle as well, the Power Blue Gold Rusher. So here's a look at the Gold Rusher. This is actually one of my favorite vehicles. It's really good at drifting. I know when I played some online matches with Melisdal, he was using Gold Rusher and drifting the night away for sure. Max says, in my opinion, Superchargers was a huge letdown. I enjoyed Superchargers in a lot of ways, but it wasn't my favorite Skylander game. I'm hoping Imaginators, you know, brings back the love. Here's a screenshot of Gold Rusher in action or in game. And then, of course, we have the variants, the Power Blue Gold Rusher that matched with the Power Blue Double Dare Trigger Happy. Of course, you could supercharge these if you wanted to. And if you didn't know, like, these crossed over as far as the supercharging. If you had regular Double Dare Trigger Happy and wanted to supercharge them with a Power Blue Gold Rusher, I'm pretty sure that they crossed over on the supercharging there. Highland wants to know if I know Trigger Happy's age. I'm not sure what Trigger Happy's age is. Here's the Power Blue Gold Rusher vehicle toy. Chloe says, I like Pop Fizz and T-Rex. Yes, those are two of my favorites as well. There is the Power Blue Gold Rusher in action. And then finally, look at this. I'm using a photo of myself here. So we had the Eons Elite, Skylanders Eons Elite Trigger Happy. I did a video a while ago showing off some of the Eons Elites, and when I was Googling some photos, this picture came up. So the Skylanders Eons Elite were like the original pose with a little more of a glossy coating to them. And they got powered up. I think it was a 3 times boost power up there for the figures. Of course, Skylanders game isn't really that difficult, so needing figures to power up and get stronger, maybe for like nightmare mode or something like that, you know, could be a thing. I heard that there was a tip somebody had told me, and I haven't really tried this yet, but somebody said like with Skylanders Superchargers, they said use a Eon's Elite so it would have more power so that you wouldn't get hit or beat down that much. So you guys will have to let me know in chat or in the comments, you know, if that's a good tip. Let's see. Ziad said, do you have all the elites? Who's my favorite? I don't know if I have all the elites. Some of them I was like waiting for them to go on sale because they're kind of expensive, those Eon's Elite. I have to check and see, but I would say, you know, Spyro, you know, is probably going to be my favorite. When you guys say, hey, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite? I usually start with Spyro. I like Pop Fizz a lot. I was not an Eon's Elite for Pop Fizz. I did like that they did a repose of the Ghost Roaster because Ghost Roaster was pretty OP, so it was great when they did an Eon's Elite of Ghost Roaster. That was cool. Chloe says, do a history of Pop Fizz just for me. You want me to do like a private little history there, and I'll like DM you the video with Pop Fizz. I would probably try and do a lot more of these because it seems like you guys like these, and I think it's kind of fun to go through kind of the history of the different Skylanders, especially leading up to Imaginators. You know, maybe it'll give us some ideas on creating things, you know, looking at the different toys and the weapons. Hey, Gaming Reese is in chat. What's going on? Chris wants to see Gilgrunt. Yes, I'm taking suggestions. I'm leaning towards maybe Gilgrunt, Spyro. You know, I'll probably do like the original popular Skylanders at first, you know, to get the ball kind of rolling on this series. I'm not quite sure what to do with some of the figures that only have like 1 or 2 poses because I don't want to make like a short little, you know, 5-minute video. Maybe I'll group a few together or something like that. Let's see what else. Chris wants a shout out. What's going on, Chris? Miska says, I have blue trigger happy. Awesome. That's great. He's great. Hey, Mike and Chargers in chat. What's going on? Shout outs to you. Portal Master rank up. TMP, do you think more Eon's Elite may come out with Imaginators? I asked about Eon's Elite when I was in person for Skylanders Imaginators, and I got a no comment. And I didn't include it in the video because I thought, with the interview I did with Luke, because I thought there was already so many no comments in there that I didn't want to have an overwhelming amount of no comments in there. So, Party Waves, what's your favorite Skylanders game? As I've said before, Skylanders Swap Force is my favorite Skylanders game of all time so far. But who knows? Imaginators could be the greatest. I mean, looking at your chat questions, making original Skylanders from scratch and playing them all the way through the game, sharing them, you know, going over your friend's house or uploading photos of that, little selfies of the Imaginators you create. Who knows? That could wind up being like the coolest thing possible. I don't know. TMP says Gilgrunt has been in every Skylanders games. That's what I should do. All right, TMP wants some Gilgrunt. I'll probably do some Gilgrunt, Spyro, you know, some of the originals, Eruptor, some of the ones that have like a lot of variations. I'll probably do those next. What I'm trying to do is feel out like the greatest time and place and schedule for these. Last time I did one of these on Sunday. Now I'm doing another one on Sunday as well. Who knows? Maybe I'll just do one every Sunday. We'll see. Let's see. Neil says, hopefully we'll get some history videos with Trap Team characters. You like the design on those? Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I am kind of showing the Trap Team figures of variants in these videos as well. Chloe says, I'm going to watch a Skylanders 101. Yes. Robert the Blastermind, preferred path for Trigger Happy. Good question. What do you guys recommend? Which path do you go with? You know, he had sort of the pot of gold or shooting the guns, making the guns more powerful. I think I always went with like making the guns more powerful so I could shoot those off. And then he had kind of his little wow power super move there with the big giant turret cannon as well. Gaming Reese says, Rob, are you going to get Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders Imaginators? Yes, I'm hoping that Activision sends me the bundle, the PlayStation 4 bundle with Crash Bandicoot, so I have him right from the launch. That would be great. United Skylanders America wants to see Jetpack. Yes, maybe some Jetpack. Let me do some more of the original Skylanders first. Party Waves, I started doing YouTube I started making videos for CoinOpTV over almost 12 years ago, before YouTube launched. So I've been around for a while. OG. Tom Craven, I was a gunner when it came to Trigger Happy. He was my first character to reach 20. Yes, Trigger Happy come with the starter kit. I think it might have come with the first starter kit. I forget those, all the different starter kits. But yeah, he was fast and powerful. And if you were a little unsure of the enemy, you can just kind of blast them away with Trigger Happy's gun. So that was pretty cool. So I'm glad you guys seem to be enjoying my little Skylanders history videos. It was great to do one with Trigger Happy. So last week I did one with Stealth Elf. Make sure you check that out if you missed that video as well. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. You know, keep these kind of short and sweet. Chris wants me to do You're Up There next. Yeah, maybe. Let's see who's in chat. Bradley, Carlos, Chris, Crash Bandicoot, Gaming, Gabriel, Gaming Reese's, Tom, Craven, Chloe, Maria, Mike Nacharge, Miska, Neil, Party Waves, Robert the Blastermind, Skylander King, Skylander Dragon, Split Degree, TMP, Toy Movie Game Bros, United Skylanders of America, Zaid. I appreciate that you guys are jumping into my chat, watching live. This video will be archived on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. I normally live stream every day when I can at 12 p.m. Pacific Coast time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think 8 p.m. in the UK. Chloe, maybe you can let me know. Is it 8 p.m. there right now for you in the UK, or whoever else is in the UK? You'll have to let me know. All right, so thanks a bunch for watching. You guys give yourself a Portal Master rank up. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave some comments. Hopefully, you know, if you missed the beginning, watch it back on the archive. It'll be archived in about an hour on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. Party Waves, when did you start Skylanders, bro? As soon as the first Skylanders game came out, so 6 years ago, started playing Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, making videos about Skylanders. I've been a Skylander fan for a while. Robert the Blastmind's going to Coney Island tomorrow. Awesome. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Used to go to Coney Island all the time. And I see some more people kind of popping in. Lucas, the tuber, says, cool. Gabrielis, what if Trigger Happy swap Foxy? I'm not sure what you're asking there. All right, you guys, you've been great. We'll see you guys again later or tomorrow. Adios.